Hello, Homewood, and hello, world. Jumping on here real quick, or at least I hope this will be quick, to share uh, some Bible verses. I'm sorry, I was distracted by my phone saying, your battery is about to run out. Uh-oh. All right, real quick. Here's a couple of snippets that I grew up with, and that may be familiar to a bunch of you. Um, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. How many of you are familiar with that one? Hands up. Oh, wait, I can't see you. But anyway, here's another one. With God, all things are possible. Okay? Um, yeah, I heard both of these a lot when I was growing up, and the way that I heard these two things kind of messed me up. And here's what I mean. When I heard it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God, this is what 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old me said. Oh man, I better not get rich. Because if I get rich, I can't go to heaven. So I better do whatever I need to do to whatever. I better do whatever it takes to avoid getting rich. So if that means that I have to suppress some of my gifts, if that means that I have to not do everything that I'm capable of doing, because you know, even as 8, 10, 12, I, I, I kind of knew without ever articulating it that if I did everything I was capable of doing, I'd probably get rich. That's it. Because I just had good stuff inside me. And if I totally released all of the good stuff inside me, I'd probably get rich. And since I wanted to go to heaven, and it's easy for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God, I wanted to get into the kingdom of God. So I thought, oh God, I better not. Yeah. Let me just shrink. Let me not express everything that's in me. Yeah, let me just kind of be a drone. Yeah, let me just be a cog in the wheel. Let me just scrape by. Let me just spend years doing data entry. Yeah, working a midnight shift, $7, $8 an hour. Yeah, let me do that. Anyway, that's what happened with that snippet, right? The second snippet, with God all things are possible. That one, the way that it was presented to me was as an encouragement to believe in and to have faith for miracles. Okay. Um, yeah. So this comes into play, when you absolutely need a miracle in your life. And it kind of sort of connected to the first one because, well, it wound up kind of sort of connecting to the first one. For me, it wound up kind of sort of connecting to the first one because when I learned when you like suppress yourself sufficiently to avoid being rich so hard that you spend a lot of time being broke, you wind up kind of praying for some financial miracles. With God, all things are possible. And by the way, I have had some remarkable things happen. I mean, like people, giving me money out of the blue. That has happened. But here's the thing, friends. The way that these snippets were presented to me as I was growing up did not, it overlooked the fact that they're part of, that they actually go together. They're part of the same story. They're actually part of the same passage, which you will find in the book of Mark, chapter 10. Jesus is indeed talking to his disciples, and he says, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a... Now, you know what? I'm going to back up because the beginning of the line is, children, how hard it is for those who trust in riches to enter the kingdom of God. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. And they were greatly astonished, saying among themselves, who then can be saved? But Jesus looked at them and said, with men it is impossible, but not with God. For with God all things are possible. So, hold on. First off, children, how hard it is for those who trust in riches to enter the kingdom of God. He didn't say just having riches was the deal. He wasn't commenting on a person's economic standing. He was commenting on the person's, if you will, spiritual perspective. How hard it is for those who trust in riches to enter the kingdom of God. And they were greatly astonished, saying, who then can be saved? Why were they astonished? Because they, kind of figured that, having riches was not problematic. And Jesus said, with men it is impossible, but not with God, for with God all things are possible. When Jesus said with God all things are possible, he was referring specifically to the possibility of a rich person entering the kingdom of God. Yeah. With men, you know what? On your own, you probably will get jacked up because either in the process of getting riches or as a result of having riches, you'll wind up trusting in your riches and you lose any trust that you may have had to begin with in God. Yeah, it's going to make it harder, but with God, if you hold on to God, right? Keep trusting God, it's possible. Not a problem for God to bring a rich person into the kingdom. God can do that. And for God, it ain't even hard. So, number one, a little bad theology can really wreck your day. bunch of days. So many days that they turn into decades. Yeah. Number two, if, like me, you have ever experienced, lived with, toiled under the fear of being rich, stop. Stop being scared. God ain't scared. God is not scared of you becoming rich. In fact, I'm going to take it a step further. If God was scared of you becoming rich, Jesus himself would not have declared the greatest wealth building formula of all time. Now, that's me talking. You evaluate it for yourself. Here it is. Give, and it shall be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be put into your bosom. For with the same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. That's it. Give. Jesus said, give and you will receive. Not a little bit, multiplied, pressed down, shaken together. You ever like pour something into a cup and then you shake the cup and whatever you poured into it, like it kind of settles down further, giving you room to pour more in? That's what he's talking about. Okay? What you receive after you've given sufficiently and well, what you receive will come into your life in such a fashion that it's like filling a cup, shaking that cup to let it settle down, and then pouring some more into it, and then shaking it some more and let it settle down, and then continuing to pour so that it's running over. That's what you receive if you well and sufficiently give. Now, most of my life, pretty much all of my life, when I've heard people talk about this has been presented as an inducement or encouragement to give to the church or to give to a specific ministry. And the way that it has come out is give to this ministry and God will bless you so much that you'll be overflowing with blessing. Okay, so two things, just two. Number one, Jesus did not mention the church. Jesus did not mention any kind of ministry. Jesus just said, give. Number two, Jesus did not mention God. He talks a lot about God in a lot of other places, but not here. Does not mention God here. Jesus just said, give. And in the absence of any other, what's the word I want to use? Constraints? No. Framing, in the absence of any other framing, it's only safe to conclude that he means give to other people.